Pray for Travis, because right now, social media is on absolute fire. And the drama surrounding Travis Hunter and his wife has just taken a heartbreaking, messy, and downright shocking turn. Fans are stunned after a brand new TikTok surfaced of Travis's wife, tears streaming down her face, crying and playing the victim in a way that nobody saw coming. And just when people thought things couldn't get more dramatic, Academics himself jumped in, reacting live to the video and dropping some comments that have left the entire fan base divided. The clip, which has been replayed thousands of times, already shows Travis's wife sitting in front of the camera, emotional, broken, and hinting that she's been misunderstood by everyone. She paints herself as the one suffering the most in this storm of controversy, but fans aren't buying it. Some are accusing her of manipulation, others are rushing to defend her. And meanwhile, Travis's silence has only made things 10 times worse. Tonight, we're diving deep into this roller coaster of tears, accusations, and raw emotions. Because, trust me, this isn't just a simple TikTok. It's the spark that lit an emotional wildfire across the internet. When the video of Travis Hunter's wife first hit TikTok, people thought it was just another emotional vent from someone dealing with stress. But within minutes, it became the center of the storm. Her voice cracked, her eyes were red from crying, and she whispered words that sounded less like honesty and more like a plea for sympathy. You don't know what it feels like to be judged by everyone? To have people who never met you tear apart your life? She said in the shaky clip. And while some fans immediately flooded the comments with support, others weren't buying a single tear. Akademics, never one to stay silent during high-profile drama, decided to react to the video live on his stream. His reaction was part disbelief, part frustration, and entirely laced with that blunt delivery he's known for. "Yo, I don't know about this, man," he muttered, leaning closer to his mic. Every time something goes down, suddenly she's crying on TikTok. Why now? Not sit down and talk it out with Travis instead of making the internet your therapist. That one line sent the internet into chaos because it wasn't just commentary, it was a challenge to her narrative. As the clip spread, fans began to dissect every frame. Some pointed out how carefully lit the room was, how the tears seemed timed with her words, how she kept pausing just long enough to catch her breath, but not too long to break the flow. One viewer commented, "This looks rehearsed, like she's trying to win an Oscar." Another countered, "No, this is real pain. She's fighting for her marriage." The divide was sharp, and it only grew deeper with every repost. Behind the scenes, whispers started to surface. Sources close to Travis claimed he was blindsided by the video. Apparently, he hadn't even known she was going to post it. One insider allegedly said Travis felt betrayed. He thought they agreed to keep their issues private, but the moment he saw her tears on TikTok, he realized she had gone public with something they hadn't resolved yet. That sense of betrayal cut deeper than any argument could, and it painted the entire situation in darker shades. To make matters worse, family members started weighing in. One cousin of Travis, who has always been outspoken on social media, posted a cryptic tweet that read, "Funny how some people act broken online but cause chaos behind closed doors." Fans immediately linked it to the TikTok drama, interpreting it as a direct shot at Travis's wife. Whether it was or not, the timing was too perfect. And the speculation only fueled the fire. Meanwhile, Travis's silence became the biggest talking point. People were refreshing his accounts, waiting for any response, any sign that he was ready to defend his wife or set the record straight. But he posted nothing, not a word, not a story, not a like. And in the world of social media, silence is never just silence. It's a statement in itself. Fans debated endlessly. Was he quietly supporting her behind the scenes? Or was his silence proof that he was distancing himself from her drama? Academics doubled down on his reaction the next day, pulling up the video again and analyzing her every word. "Look at this part right here," he said, pausing as she wiped her face. She stops crying, looks at the camera, and then starts again. I'm telling you, this is performance. This is not raw emotion. His chat exploded with comments, half agreeing with him, half accusing him of being too harsh. But that's exactly what made it go viral. People weren't just reacting to the wife's video anymore. They were reacting to academics, reacting to her dot. The situation spiraled into a full-blown circus. Fan edits popped up on Instagram and Twitter, with some setting dramatic music behind her tears and others mocking her expressions with sarcastic captions. Memes spread quickly, and suddenly what began as a heartfelt plea had turned into the internet's newest obsession. But behind the viral content was a very real tension building between Travis and his wife. According to one insider, the couple had a heated argument right after the video dropped. Travis told her straight up, "Why would you put me in this position? Now I look like the bad guy no matter what I do." She shot back, saying, "I had no choice. You weren't listening to me at home." It was explosive. They yelled, they cried, they threw around accusations, and by the end of it, nothing was resolved. The source went on to say that both of them felt cornered, but in completely different ways. Travis by the public's eyes, and his wife by his silence. Friends of the couple also began picking sides. Some close to Travis expressed frustration, calling her TikTok a manipulative stunt. One friend allegedly said she knows how much attention she gets when she cries on camera. She's playing the victim card, and it's unfair to Travis. Others defended her, saying she was simply overwhelmed and had no outlet except social media. She's not acting. One supporter argued, she's been bottling this up for months, and it finally broke her. The pressure was unbearable. Even fans who wanted to stay neutral were dragged into the debate. Twitter threads stretched into hundreds of replies. TikTok duets analyzed her every word. And YouTube commentators began uploading breakdowns with titles like "Travis Hunter Wife Manipulates Fans" and "The Truth Behind the Tears." The more people talked, the less clear the truth became. What nobody expected was how far the drama would spread into Travis's career. Sports reporters began asking questions at press conferences, trying to connect the personal turmoil to his on-field performance. One journalist even asked, "Is the noise at home affecting your focus on the game?" Travis dodged the question, but the look on his face told a different story. It wasn't just personal anymore, it was professional. By the end of the week, the Hunter household felt like it was sitting on a ticking time bomb. Each new reaction, each new post, each new whisper added pressure to a situation already cracking. Under the weight of public scrutiny, Travis's wife may have thought her tears would bring sympathy. But instead, they unleashed a tidal wave of criticism, suspicion, and division. And just when people thought the drama couldn't possibly escalate further, something unexpected happened. A second video surfaced. One that hinted at secrets far bigger than anyone had imagined. The second video appeared late at night, almost like it was meant to catch people off guard. It wasn't posted by Travis's wife this time, but by an anonymous account that claimed to have exclusive unseen footage. At first, nobody believed it. But once the video started playing Jaws, dropped across the internet, it showed Travis's wife in what looked like a private conversation. Her voice raised, no tears, no shaky words, just raw anger. "You think you can ignore me forever? You think I'm gonna sit here quiet while you live like everything's perfect?" she snapped in the leaked clip. Her tone was sharp, her body language defiant. This was a side of her nobody had ever seen before, and it stood in stark contrast to the broken, fragile woman who had been crying on TikTok just days earlier. The internet erupted instantly. Fans who had defended her before started questioning everything. One comment summed it up. So which version of her is real? The crying wife begging for sympathy, or the furious one screaming behind closed doors? Others argued the video was taken out of context, claiming that everyone loses their temper sometimes and it doesn't erase genuine pain. But the damage was already done. The image of her victimhood began to crack. AKADMIKS, wasted no time. Reacting. Going live within hours of the leak, he played the video for his audience and laughed in disbelief.
Yo.
Look at this, man. I told y'all it was an act. This ain't no victim. This is someone who knows exactly how to play the game. 1 minute she's crying for the camera, the next she's snapping like this. Come on, bro. This is Hollywood-level acting. His chat exploded again, and clips of his reaction spread faster than the leaked video itself. Behind the scenes, Travis was reportedly furious. Sources close to him revealed that he accused his wife of sabotaging his image. He told her, "Now, everyone thinks you're fake. You didn't just embarrass yourself, you embarrassed me too," one insider claimed. She in turn fired back, saying the leak was manipulated and said, "Instead of blaming me, why don't you defend me? Why don't you tell people the truth about us?" It was a shouting match that ended with both of them walking away in silence. Family tension also hit a boiling point. Travis's mother, who had remained quiet until now, allegedly stepped in and sided with her son. She thinks the wife is making everything about herself, a family friend revealed. She told her straight up, "Scaring this family apart." The confrontation reportedly left the wife in tears again. But this time, there were no cameras to capture it. Just raw family conflict spilling over in ways nobody could control. Fans, meanwhile, picked apart every detail of the leaked footage. Some slowed it down, zoomed in on her expressions, and even analyzed the background to figure out where it was filmed. Others compared her tone to old clips of her, pointing out how different she seemed. One viral tweet read, "We've been bamboozled." She went from victim to villain in one video. But her defenders weren't ready to give up on her yet. They argued that everyone has private arguments and being angry doesn't erase pain. The divide between supporters and critics grew even sharper, splitting the fan base into two camps that clashed on every platform. The situation reached new heights when a friend of Travis's wife decided to speak out. In a long Instagram story, the friend claimed the leaked video was only part of a bigger fight, and that Travis's wife had been pushed to her breaking point. "You don't know what she goes through every day," the friend wrote. "You see? A few seconds and think you know her. Trust me, you don't." The story disappeared after 24 hours, but screenshots spread everywhere. Adding another layer of confusion, AKADEMIKS addressed the friend's defense the very next day, shaking his head on stream. "Here we go, the friend defense. It's always the same, man. You don't know what she goes through. Okay, then why post a crying video for millions of strangers? Why make it public if you don't want people judging?" Nah, that excuse don't fly. His harsh words sparked another wave of debate, with some agreeing wholeheartedly and others slamming him for being insensitive. As the drama escalated, Travis's performance on the field started to take hits. Commentators noted he seemed distracted, less focused, almost like the weight of everything at home was dragging him down. One sports analyst even said on live TV, "Travis Hunter doesn't just need a coach right now. He needs a crisis manager." The blend of sports and scandal became unavoidable, and suddenly his career was just as tied to the drama as his marriage was. In the Hunter household, the atmosphere reportedly turned icy. Insiders described them barely speaking, eating meals in silence, and sleeping in separate rooms. "It's like they're strangers under the same roof," one source said. He's angry, she's defensive, and neither of them wants to take the first step toward fixing it. The pressure also extended to their extended family and friends. People who used to visit the house regularly stopped showing up, afraid of being caught in the crossfire. Some friends unfollowed both of them on social media, choosing neutrality over picking a side. It was like the entire world around them was shrinking, leaving just the two of them locked in a private war that kept spilling into the public eye. And just when fans thought the drama had peaked, another twist emerged. A voice note began circulating online, allegedly featuring Travis's wife confiding in a close friend. In the note, she can be heard saying, "Sometimes I feel like Travis doesn't even care if we make it or not. I feel like I'm fighting alone." Whether the note was real or fabricated didn't matter. The internet latched onto it instantly. Her supporters said it proved she was genuinely struggling, while her critics insisted it was just another performance for sympathy. The constant leaks, the non-stop reactions, the endless arguments, it was becoming too much for anyone to handle. Even fans who loved the drama began admitting it was exhausting. One viral post read, "This is no longer entertainment. This is a tragedy playing out in real time." But the thing about tragedies is that they don't just stop when people get tired. They keep unraveling one painful thread at a time. By the end of that week, Travis reportedly packed a bag and left the house for a few days. Insiders claimed he stayed with a teammate to clear his head. His wife, left alone in the house, posted another cryptic TikTok, this time with no words, just a black screen and the caption, "Pray for me." Fans immediately noticed she said "pray for me" instead of "pray for us." And that subtle difference sparked endless speculation. Was she hinting at a separation? Was she turning the narrative fully into her personal struggle instead of their shared marriage? Academics reacted again, sighing heavily. "Man, it's over. This ain't a marriage anymore. This is a soap opera." And guess what? Everybody's tuning in. And with Travis out of the house, his wife crying online again, and the internet more divided than ever, the drama was only getting started. Because soon, people close to Travis himself would start leaking their own side of the story. And that would take the scandal to a level nobody could have imagined. As the internet kept buzzing over the black screen TikTok with the haunting caption, "Pray for me," new whispers began to emerge from people close to Travis himself. For weeks, the story had revolved around his wife, her tears, her anger, her posts. But now it was Travis's turn to have his side leak out. And when it did, it shifted the entire narrative. The first crack came from one of his teammates, who anonymously told a reporter that Travis had been carrying a lot more than people realize. The teammate claimed Travis confided in him late one night, saying, "I can't keep doing this. Every time I try to focus on my career, she drags me back into the drama. It's like I'm fighting two battles, one on the field and one at home." The quote quickly made its way onto blogs and social media, painting Travis not as a silent bystander, but as a man breaking under pressure. Fans latched onto this new perspective. For the first time, sympathy began shifting toward him. So he's the victim here too. One comment read, "We've been so focused on her tears, but he's suffering in silence." Others pushed back, saying, "Nah, don't flip it now. He's had chances to support her and stayed quiet." Silence is still a choice. The divide deepened, but this time Travis had a growing number of defenders rallying around him. AKA DMIKS, of course, jumped on this shift immediately. During a fiery stream, he pulled up the report and said, "See what I'm talking about? This man is dealing with stress on both ends. Y'all crucify him for being quiet, but maybe he's quiet because if he says anything, it's World War III at home." Sometimes silence is survival. His chat exploded with comments like facts, and finally someone sees it, giving Travis a rare wave of public support. But the leaks didn't stop there. Close family friend, who claimed to have been around the couple during some of their arguments, came forward with even more explosive details. According to this source, Travis's wife had been using social media as a weapon for months. Every time they fought, she'd threaten to go online and make herself look like the victim, the source alleged. Travis begged her not to, but she knew it gave her power. This revelation shook fans to their core. Suddenly, the crying TikTok wasn't just an emotional vent. It was being framed as a tactic, a deliberate move in their marital chess game. "If this is true, she's been manipulating us the whole time," one fan tweeted. "We thought we were comforting her, but we were just pawns in their fight." Others refused to believe it, arguing that the so-called source could be lying for clout. Still, the seed of doubt had been planted, and it grew quickly. The wife didn't stay silent for long. Sensing the shift in public opinion, she posted yet another TikTok, this time directly addressing the accusations. Sitting on her couch, eyes puffy but voice steady, she said, "I am not perfect, but I am not the villain people are making me out to be. Yes, I've cried on camera. Yes, I've been angry. But that's because I'm hurting. And if my way of coping makes people uncomfortable, that's not my problem. I will not apologize for feeling." The video reignited the firestorm. Her supporters praised her bravery for standing tall in the face of hate, while her critics dismissed it as another carefully crafted performance. Notice how she never denies using social media as a weapon. One viral comment pointed out. She just spins it into being about her feelings again. "It was classic," she said, but now the battlefield was wider than ever. Travis, however, still remains silent, but his actions spoke volumes. He showed up to practice wearing headphones, ignoring reporters' questions. At a recent game, cameras caught him walking off the field without acknowledging his wife, who was sitting in the stands. Fans noticed immediately. "Bro didn't even look her way," one spectator tweeted. "That's cold," others argued. Maybe it was just focus, but the clip went viral anyway, fueling speculation that the marriage was unraveling before everyone's eyes. Academics reacted to that clip too, shaking his head. Look, body language don't lie. When a man can't even look at his wife, that's a wrap. You don't need words, the silence tells you everything. His commentary only amplified the growing belief that Travis was done fighting for the relationship. Meanwhile, new rumors surfaced that Travis had confided in his family about taking a break from the marriage. One source claimed he said, "I love her, but I can't keep living like this. I need peace." Whether it was true or not, the rumors spread like wildfire. And fans began debating whether separation was inevitable. His wife, sensing the narrative slipping further away, posted yet another cryptic message on Instagram stories. "When you've given your all and it's still not enough, what do you do?" The post disappeared within hours, but not before screenshots circulated everywhere. Fans dissected it relentlessly. "She's hinting at divorce," one said. "Ah, she's playing the victim card again," another countered. The endless back and forth only added to the chaos. The real breaking point, however, came when another leak hit the internet, this time allegedly from Travis himself. A voice memo surfaced where he was heard telling a close friend, "I don't want to embarrass her, but I can't let her keep embarrassing me either. I gotta make a move before it ruins everything." The authenticity of the audio was never confirmed, but it was enough to send shockwaves across social media. Fans debated endlessly whether it was real, but either way, the message was clear. Travis was done being passive. Academics reacted in disbelief. Yo, if that's really Travis, then he's finally waking up. He's realizing you can't win when the other person keeps making the world your judge. This ain't love anymore. This is a battle for who controls the story. At this point, the Hunter drama had fully crossed into mainstream entertainment. Gossip blogs ran daily updates. Sports commentators weighed in on his mental state. And fans across the world tuned in like it was their favorite reality show. The marriage wasn't just a relationship anymore, it was content. Fuel for endless speculation, and just when it seemed like both sides had laid all their cards on the table, another twist arrived. Someone close to Travis's wife claimed she had been keeping a secret of her own, something she hadn't shared in any of her videos. The whispers were vague, but they hinted at betrayal, at choices made in private that could explain Travis's growing distance. The internet held its breath, waiting for the next leak. the next post. The next explosive revelation, because if there's one thing everyone agreed on, it was this. The story was far from over. The wife's tears, Travis's silence, the leaks, the accusations, it was all leading somewhere bigger. And when the next bombshell dropped, it would change everything we thought we knew about their marriage. The whispers of betrayal turned into a roar when a blog dropped what they claimed. Was the truth behind Travis's wife's secret? According to the report, she had been in close contact with someone from Travis's inner circle. Texting late at night, venting frustrations, and even meeting privately without telling him. While the blog stopped short of calling it an affair, the implication was heavy enough to make fans lose their minds. The internet exploded instantly. "Yo, she was talking to his own circle," one fan wrote. That's betrayal, period. Even if it wasn't physical, it's emotional cheating. Others refused to believe it, arguing the blog exaggerated for clicks. But screenshots soon surfaced, blurry, hard to verify, yet damning enough to spark endless debates. In them, she appeared to say things like, "He never listens to me, but you do," and "Sometimes I wonder if I married the wrong person." For many fans, that was the final straw. The narrative flipped overnight. No longer was she the misunderstood wife crying for sympathy. Now she was the one accused of double-crossing Travis when he needed loyalty most. All those tears were for show. One viral post read, "She had someone else in her ear the whole time." Okadamix predictably went off on his stream. "I told y'all from day one, man, something didn't add up. Now look, this ain't no innocent victim. This is someone playing games behind the scenes while making TikToks for attention. Travis deserves better, period." His rant went viral, with clips spreading across Twitter and Instagram. Behind closed doors, the situation reportedly hit rock bottom. Insiders claim Travis confronted his wife directly after the leaks. He asked her straight up, "Is it true? Are you talking to him behind my back?" One source recounted. She didn't deny it right away. She broke down crying again, saying she just needed someone to talk to. Someone who would listen when he wouldn't. But to Travis, that was betrayal, no matter how she framed it. The fight that followed was said to be their most explosive yet. Voices were raised, accusations flew, and at one point, neighbors even reported hearing shouting from the house. "He told her, 'You made me look like a fool in front of the world,'" the insider claimed. She screamed back, "You left me no choice." It was ugly, raw. And the kind of fight that leaves scars you don't just forget. Family members also stepped in, and this time, the division was sharper than ever. Travis's mother reportedly told her daughter-in-law she was no longer welcome in their home. Cousins and siblings unfollowed her on social media. Meanwhile, some of her relatives defended her, saying Travis had neglected her emotionally for too long. The feud spread across families, turning what was once a private marriage crisis into a full-scale war between two sides. Fans were equally split. Hashtags like #PrayForTravis and #JusticeForWife trended side by side, each group fighting to control the narrative. One fan tweeted, "She may have talked to someone else, but that doesn't erase her pain." Another fired back, "Pain doesn't excuse betrayal, period." The arguments stretched across platforms, from Twitter Spaces to TikTok Lives. As if the entire internet had taken sides in a divorce trial. Through it all, Travis remained mostly silent until one night when he finally broke. Going live for just a few minutes, he didn't spill every detail but made his stance clear. "I ain't perfect, but I don't deserve this," he said quietly. "I've been trying to focus on my career, on providing, and somehow I end up being the villain. All I ever wanted was peace." He ended the live abruptly, but those few words were enough to send shockwaves through his fan base. AKA DEMIKS replayed that live over and over during his next stream, nodding solemnly. "See, that's the real Travis right there. Tired, broken. just wanting peace. And the sad part is, peace is the last thing he's going to get in this situation. As days passed, the couple reportedly separated. Insiders claim Travis moved out for good, while his wife stayed in the house, still posting cryptic content. One of her last TikToks showed her packing boxes with the caption, "Sometimes endings are new beginnings." Fans flooded the comments, some offering sympathy, others accusing her of playing the victim card one last time. The media circus only intensified. Sports outlets debated how the scandal would affect Travis's career, while gossip blogs headline read, "Travis Hunter chooses peace over chaos." While another screamed, "The wife who cried wolf." Fans turn against Travis's ex. But the truth was, nobody really knew how it would end. Some sources said Travis had already contacted divorce lawyers. Others claimed he still had a soft spot for her and might reconsider. Fans speculated endlessly, but the only certainty was that the story wasn't neatly tied up. It was messy, painful, and far from over. The final twist came when Travis's wife posted a midnight message that simply read, "Pray for Travis." After everything, the tears, the leaks, the accusations, the betrayals, she circled back to the very words that had started the storm. Fans were stunned. Was it an olive branch, a final attempt at sympathy, or a genuine moment of regret? Nobody knew. AKADMIKS, of course, had the last word. She said, "Pray for Travis, huh?" Maybe for once she's telling the truth. Maybe he does need prayers. Not because he's weak, but because he's been through hell with this whole thing. And if this is the end, then I hope it's the last time we see someone turn their marriage into social media content. And with that, the saga of Travis Hunter and his wife's TikTok tears closed a chapter, but left an open wound in the eyes of fans. Because whether you believed she was the victim or the manipulator, whether you sided with Travis or with her, one thing was undeniable: the story had gripped the internet like no other. And just like any good reality show, nobody could look away even as everything fell apart. And so here we are, at the end of one of the messiest, most jaw-dropping sagas the internet has seen in a long time. Travis Hunter, a star on the field, found himself trapped in a storm off the field that no amount of talent could shield him from. His wife's tears, the endless TikToks, academics reacting live, the leaks, the accusations, the whispers of betrayal, it all came together like a reality show that nobody asked for. But everyone watched. Fans are still divided. The family is still fractured, and the truth, well, the truth depends on who you ask. Was Travis's wife a misunderstood partner crying out for help? Or was she carefully playing the victim card while keeping secrets behind his back? Did Travis do enough to protect his marriage, or did his silence allow the chaos to grow? These questions don't have easy answers. Maybe they never will. But one thing's for sure, this story has left people shocked, emotional, and invested in what happens next. Will Travis finally choose peace and walk away for good? Or will there be a shocking reconciliation down the line? Only time will tell. But until then, the internet won't stop talking about it. Now I want to hear from you. Whose side are you on in this drama? Travis or his wife? Do you think she was truly crying out in pain? Or was it all an act? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because this conversation is far from over. And if you want to stay updated on every twist and turn in stories like this, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell so you don't miss a single update. Trust me, this is only the beginning.